Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 9th episode of Shirobako. So, in the last episode, we had Emma continuing with her struggle to draw well and not have to do redrawings basically. And you had Iguchi trying to help her out, taking her for a nice walk around to see maybe some real animals, see how they might look and move and all that, just kind of giving her a new perspective to help her out. And I'd say it's probably gonna have a big result in helping her going forward. Also had Aoi's sister continuing her date with Midori, having a good time, saying Aoi random pictures. That's kind of irritating her maybe a little bit. But yeah, just good times all around. So let's see what we're in for now. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, we're making a tire, a wheel. It took me longer to realize than it should have. But yeah, cool. Define soon. Are we talking Valve time? Can I just copy paste them? One's work on the wheel. Yeah, basically all 3D work. I mean, it makes sense she's probably in the 3D department, so everyone around her probably doing a similar job. But yeah, cool. If they're doing 3D work, I assume they're using Autodesk Maya. That is kind of the industry standard. Always love Rinko's attire. And as soon as that one girl takes off her glasses, it becomes a squinty eyes. Very classic anime thing. But yeah, obviously she's gonna be the one we're gonna focus on this episode. And here. That, like, 4 seconds or so, that's probably my favorite part of the opening. Everybody working hard at their own thing. And there she is, doing motion capture. That is Misa, right, I want to say. I try to mix up Midori and Misa a lot. Cool. It's kind of funny because we're on episode 9 right now. Basically finished. Yeah, we still... Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't finished the storyboard for that yet, have we? Friggin' director. Yeah, voice actresses definitely are the trickiest thing to work with. Because they have other places to go. Oh yeah, part A of the storyboard was done. Western entertainment. Who cares about Western entertainment? Yeah. There's a reason most anime are adaptations of manga or light novel. Mostly light novels nowadays. Oh god, it's happening again. There's a lot to do. Oh god, we need to put them to work, they'll help us. Oh, never mind, we're done for. Of course. Uh, I bet he was. It's not bad. Well, the competition doesn't get an anime about them, so feel good about that at least. That's hard to say. Yeah, sounds good. No reason to reject that offer. Something lewd? No. It's not great. That's much worse. Uh, don't we all? Yeah, but it's easier said than done. When you're doing something purely as a hobby, yeah, that's fine, but there's a lot of pressure when you're in the real business world. And people's livelihood are at stake. I don't like Madoka. Uh, it's interesting if it makes you want to see more of it. It's not really something you can break down into a science. uh, nice. She has a friend. Of course, now I'm hungry. Misa busy reinventing the wheel. Well, if nothing else, to be good at it. I can. That makes sense. Spark story. Yeah. I guess cars are easier. I mean, anime has a lot of 3D CG cars. So. Please give me something else to do. Anything like a cute girl. I probably wouldn't want to work on nothing but cars. That just sounds horrible. You need crowd noise. That's where you come in. Yeah, she's like a. Do your best. Sure, why not? Oh, never mind. Wow, that's such a. I was a little bit confused. I'm glad you clarified. I was like, what's a Gaia? Is it something good? Oh, far better than Prince of Tennis. But yeah, good for you, Shizuka. I just wanted to hear your voice. Is Walla a real term? I mean, I hear her saying Gaia, I think. I mean, I get what it is, but it just sounds weird. That was good. Okay, the last one was cute. Uh, yes, that's a good way to think of it, actually. Good luck. I assume the AR there doesn't stand for augmented reality. uh, Man, I really don't know about this translation sometimes. She clearly said Kira Kira, which is like sparkling. I don't know how that becomes Halo, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Just some translations are like that in anime. Oh, well, crap. Uh, well, just get undressed real quick and come back. Third girl's fighter wing. Good question. Yeah, that fills us with confidence. Yes, boing boing paradise. That's not what you want to be known as. I like how he looks down as he says that, because he's just... Yeah. Yeah, much better than we'd expect from the director of Boing Boing Paradise. For whatever that's worth. Now the important characters, the background voices. So cheer on this fictional scenario. Okay, so this is how this crowd stuff is done. Okay, don't... Yeah, you don't want to stand out from the rest of the crowd like that. That was funny, though. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a little too into it, but you don't want to... You don't want to upstage everyone else. Okay, I think you may have went a bit far back, too far back. Okay, and now it sounds like you're deliberately trying not to stand out. I mean, I understand it's a hard balance to strike, but it was just very apparent that she's an amateur. I mean, it's not like she was trying to cheer someone on, but like not be noticed. It was actually really cute. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. Yeah, you are making progress, so well, just practice writing, like web novels and stuff, I guess. Yeah, because she's already doing CG work, but uh, yeah, like it's consistent good work, but it's not really the kind of thing you enjoy doing. Kind of the polar opposite of Shizuka's situation in a lot of ways. Yeah. I would lose my mind making nothing but wheels. Well, just hope for the best. Okay. Uh, I sure. Uh, Having a group hallucination, I guess. Uh, that was weird. Of course. Huh. Okay. I guess. Uh, not got anything better to do. Yeah, not everyone can be so lucky. Misses wheels. She's like, I can make a better wheel than that. She's made a lot of wheels in her day. Yes. Another racing game, another wheel game. Wow, that's pretty flattering. He seems like a nice enough guy, but why all the cars? I mean, if it's his thing, it's his thing, but yeah, I can't imagine that being very fun. Ow! Why would you do that? Yeah, he definitely likes his cars. Uh, I'm tired of my job. Please give me something else to do. Anything. I'd rather make crabs than wheels. Like, at least give me a wheel as a steering wheel. Yeah, it's still cars. That makes sense. If you're already, have a way of success, you don't really want to mess with that too early. I imagine it'd be difficult. You need 50 employees, though. I want to make cute girls. Wow, she straight up said that. That was... It sure isn't making wheels. But yeah, the guy's certainly not wrong or anything. You can definitely understand his position. Well, Tracy girls. Getting girls in Panzer flashbacks. uh, there's not. What? Of course, I'd be shocked if he didn't say that. If you didn't like it, then you shouldn't have made it to begin with. But whatever, I've kind of expect this. I'm not gonna get too mad. Yes. uh, cute girls doing cute things. Exactly. Couldn't put it better. More or less. That's a good question. I actually want an answer to that. That's the funniest thing you said. Sounds good. It definitely sounds like a good anime. I'm not gonna knock that. Sounds good. Yeah, she's a good girl. Kind of sad you have to be reminded what your own story is about. Oh god. I think, oh my god, the Gendo pose. Uh, oh, we have very interesting timing walking in on this. You should go full Sympho gear. The no fun allowed police arrive. Keep typing. uh, we're getting them one or the other. That's what I call a concert right there. uh, uh, the cops murder everyone. That does sound pretty cool. I should hope so. I didn't want to see corpses. I did remember a little bit of AKB 0048 a little bit. No, we must go farther. uh, yes. Patchy, 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 patchy. Oh, more hallucinations. Far better than the last hallucinations. You know you've done good when your own fictional characters come to say, good job, man. I don't. I don't know, I think I kind of lost track of the story halfway through that. Oh. But yeah, it's changes to the storyboard mean other changes we'll have to make as well, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess we have our storyboard completed. These two were definitely trying to help out Ally once again this episode. But even they can only help so much. This episode actually went by fairly quickly. One of these days I'll just grab that eye patch and let go. I would just like to just pick her up and have her continue that dance like on the top of my hand. I think that would be really cool. Because then I could just raise her right above me and, you know, you know. But yeah, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You know the sense. Yeah. His favorite room. Oh, he voluntarily locked himself in there. Well, hopefully he told somebody's in there so they can let him out. I guess when you're used to that work environment, just... So that was the 9th episode of Shirobako. Another good episode. This time we finally got to have some real attention on Misa. She works at a company doing 3D CG work. However, because... I mean, it's a good job because it's consistent work. They're doing fine. They have work lined up for a while, it seems like. But what she's doing is pretty much the same thing day in and day out. Wheels for cars, because the company seems to have an obsession with cars, like the only thing they want to actually do. Eventually, when she talks to her boss, she does kind of find out some logic, some reasoning behind that. How that's just kind of what they got a lot initially, and then they got better and better at that. They got well known for being good at that, so they kept getting new jobs for that. And since they're a new company, they're not going to turn away jobs, so they're going to take the jobs they're given. And so it just kind of ended up being where they're at. So he kind of has a policy of don't rock the boat. You know, I have a lot of employees, a lot of people who are counting on this company doing well. I don't want to really take a risk. I don't think we're in a position right now to take risks and try something new that may or may not pan out for us. We may or may not be good at it. It may take time to get as good at it as we are at the car stuff. So yeah, once he really talked about it, yeah, I get it. I don't blame him at all for that. But Misa still wants to do something else. I don't know if she'll move to a different company. Maybe she will end up convincing him to try something new and let her be like the main one for it. At some point, maybe in the future, when the company's maybe a bit older and she's a bit more experienced, that's a possibility. I assume either that will happen or she will get a job somewhere else, one of the two. I guess we'll see which one. I also had Shizuka in this episode, although it was more about Misa than it was Shizuka, I would say, a little bit more. I do think they were trying to go for a bit of a parallel thing between the two of them, because you have Misa working at a 3D CG place, you know, a job that she, you know, wanted, that she thought she could do, and she's doing it. She has a good job. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Secure, you know. It's not like Shizuka, who has to, you know, apply for auditions and hope she gets one. You know, they're in very different positions, even though they both kind of chase their dreams their own way. There are very much kind of different positions here. They mentioned grass is always greener in the episode, and I think that kind of applies to two of them as well. I'm sure Shizuka would like the kind of consistent, steady work that Misa has, and I'm sure Misa would kind of want the fun jobs that Shizuka has, where she gets to do something different all the time. Like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm making steady progress to maybe doing one of those main roles that I one day do. Even though I'm doing these voiceovers and I'm doing this Kala, whatever they called it, Gaia, whatever they called it, the crowd thing. So yeah, they're kind of different positions like that, even they are both, you know, chasing their dream in their own way. I really like the phone call between Shizuka and Misa because Shizuka was telling her about the role that she got, and she's like, "Hey, what's this about? Is it an anime?" It's like, "Oh yeah, it's a Gaia, a Walla, whatever." Walla sounds so stupid. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. What that's supposed to even be a shortening for, or what that's about. Like, I guess wall as in you're on the wall, you're on the sidelines like a wallflower. I don't know. Maybe that's what that's going for. I don't know. Anyway, I found her reaction funny. She's like, "Oh, Gaia, what is that like? So you're playing a boy this time?" She thought that was the name of a person. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, it makes sense that this would be a good role for, you know, a beginner voice actor still trying to make her way to be one member in a big crowd of people that just have to say lines, and it gets all mixed together and cut out the parts that they want and all that. So yeah, it makes sense that this would be a good stepping stone to try to get her foot in the anime industry. She's obviously not going to start out as a main heroine or something like that. That's just not going to happen. So I quite enjoyed seeing her rehearse for that, especially her little fight though part she did at the end there. That was beyond adorable. And the adorableness did not end there, because we also got to see her actually doing the audition itself, and she. Well, first of all, she walks in there with her shoes, and then she's told that that's a no-no, and that was quite embarrassing. She had to run off for that. So far, it's not starting out too much better than her previous attempt at this. So then she gets with the crowd, and then her first problem is that she was standing out too much because she was getting a little bit too into it, which makes sense. It's because usually with voice actresses in most roles, you want to stand out, you know, you're your own character. But in this case, you are just part of the crowd. It's kind of counterintuitive to do that, so she did that, then she had to take a step back, and then she kind of took a bit too far of a step back, a little bit too safe. And admittedly, that is kind of a hard middle ground to make. But if you do want to be, you do need to put a bit more into it than that if you want to be able to like hear yourself in the background later on. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it, but my point is that she may have pulled back a bit too much, and she sounded like a shy girl trying to cheer for the boy she likes, but doesn't want him to know that she's there, doesn't want him to know that she likes him. That's almost what it felt like to me. But yeah, it was cute nonetheless. But yeah, she is making progress. That this is another role, a successful role that she did. Obviously, she got embarrassed a little bit, a couple instances of awkward, embarrassing stuff, but still, it's something to put on your resume. Hey, I was part of a crowd in this one shot, so hire me. So it was a very short scene, but we did get a scene about with some higher ups discussing an anime called Third Girls Fighter Wing, something like that. And pretty much they wanted, Musani, I think that was the abbreviation for the company, Musashino Animation. They wanted to do it, and they were pleading their case. And they said that, hey, it would be Kinoshita, the director of such wonderful works like Boing Boing Paradise, would be working on it. And yeah, he knew, people apparently know him as the director of that because that was just such an infamous story. So yeah, his reaction to that was funny. He's like, oh, so is he gonna make this anime Boing as well? I don't know. I really like that. I mean, I was expecting him to be a bit more asshole-ish about the prospect of Boing Boing director working on this, but he was, I don't know, I kind of like the way he took it. He might, I mean, maybe he was trying to be a bit condescending there, but overall, I thought he had a kind of a fun reaction to that. But yeah, he seemed open and minded enough about the proposition. So maybe they will decide to work on it. We do need something besides Exodus now that it's coming to an end. Obviously, episode 13 hasn't been finished, but by the end of it, we do more or less have our storyboard done, I guess. Well, the idea for it. I think he still has to actually do it because that's why he locked himself in there to finish the actual creation of it. But it's all up there at the very least. But yeah, that's I guess that's going to be what we have our next anime after Exodus, because I mean this itself is a 2-core anime, and where the staff is doing a 1-core anime, so it makes sense that they would have another 1-core anime to do in the second core of this anime. And God, that sounds confusing when I say it out loud, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that'd probably be what the next thing we work on is. It's the first core of this anime probably will be like we've finished up the first core of that anime, which is the entirety of that anime. If anyone out there doesn't know what a core is, that's anime are usually separated into cores. One core is 12 or 13 episodes. It's one season. And if it's 2 cores, it usually goes across 2 seasons. Now, I want to talk about the little conversation we had in the restaurant between Shizuka, Misa, and Midori, where nobody else was there. They were talking about work and stuff like that. But what caught my interest was the group hallucination. So when that thing first showed up in the sky, for the first about, I don't know, 3 seconds, I thought, wait, what is that? Like, I was thinking it was real. But once I realized, okay, no, I think it's just one of them, like, seeing things. But they were all looking out the window, so I was like, are they all seeing it? And then they all waved to it, so yeah, clearly they were having a group hallucination. So that was pretty weird. I'm trying not to overthink that, because I mean it's not meant to be taken that seriously, but the only logical explanation for that would be a group hallucination. Like, that's the only explanation for that. I don't know, it was just a really weird scene. I don't know. I don't have much to say on it beyond that, aside from it really stuck with me. I mean, I think they did a scene like that before, like with all the staff members at Musashini Animation, like when the director was talking about what he was doing with the anime, the changes and all that. I think they had the girls pop up in the table, and I think more than just him saw that. I don't know. And obviously we did this once again later on with just the director seeing the character after he once again talked about changes and how he was going to take the ending. So I guess it's just a thing the show does. It's just a little bit weird. I wouldn't think much of it if just one person saw it, but it's just all of them seeing the same thing is what takes that step higher to weird territory. So the final scene there with the director talking about the changes he's going to be making to the storyboard, that was quite the scene. I like how it was playing that dramatic music as he was talking about this, and the other characters were just watching him listening to him talk about that. And I don't know, the music was interesting because I imagine the music just being like in his head. Everybody else is just a quiet room listening to him just go off and on about the story. So I kept imagining the room just being quiet with no audio, and it actually changes the scene quite a bit, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this scene was interesting because we honestly don't know that much about the story of Exodus, beyond the fact that these are these 3 girls, they're friends. The one girl was like, they were betrayed by the one girl, and the one girl had her scene about that. And I think there was some vehicle chase scene with explosions. We know that. What else do we know about this anime before this episode? Yeah, I mean, we really don't know that much, honestly. So, a lot of things he was saying there would make more sense if we saw the previous episodes, which we haven't. But apparently, the cops are against them. Apparently, some rumors were being spread, and they are fighting against that as best they can. I don't really know exactly how they got to that situation, so I'm really curious about that. I look forward to eventually finding that out. But yeah, it was quite the epic ending, I guess. I think the cowboys and the horses kind of came out of nowhere. I think that may have been maybe a step too far in the silliness direction. And he wanted to go even farther than that before they stopped him. But yeah, Aoi was not a big fan of the 100 horses, I guess, because that's going to have to be animated. And if you're going to have 100 horses on screen at once, you would obviously use 3D CG for that. So that brings up that subject again. I don't know how cowboys fit into the story at all because I don't know much about this story. But yeah, that was quite interesting. This definitely sounds like the kind of anime that I would watch if it was real. So yeah, I guess it's a fine ending. And the episode ended off with Kinoshita just going into his usual room and working on the storyboard, I guess. And next episode, I imagine that'll be done, and we'll just be discussing how to deal with those 100 horses and cowboy and all that, and how we're gonna have fun animating them. Because the interesting thing about a work like anime is that you can have an idea guy that tells you all these sorts of amazing, cool things that would be awesome to have in the story, but you have to kind of bring that back down into what's feasible to do in an animation. It's similar with video games. You can have cool ideas, but it's actually probably even worse than video games because you have a lot of limitations on game mechanics and stuff. But yeah, eventually you have to kind of make sure what you know is doable and what isn't. But yeah, next episode I guess will be probably focus on what we're gonna like making episode 13 happen. If I had a venture, I guess. But yeah, like I said, another good episode. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.